Man, LDB to the C. This your boy, the Coach here, live on the Coach Show, the Coach Show Live. Man, the return of the king is here, okay? Deontay Wilder. And you know, folks, I had a story, man, to share. Like, it was years ago when I went into Wilder's DMs and I asked him a real serious question. And, I couldn't believe it, man. Like, within an hour, dude responds back to me. And I went, and I was tripping. I'm like, nah, But then we started going back and forth, and, I was talking with him. It was Deontay Wilder. And he was like, yo, man, just hit me up, anytime, man. And I'm like, yeah, but, I've never abused that. I've never really had the desire to go in and say, hey, hey, Wilder, let me ask you. I just, the guy busy. He real busy. And he just don't have a lot of time to sit on social media. But I was shocked. Maybe he was on his Instagram at that time. I don't know. But boy, he responded back, and I've always respected him anyway as a fighter. I used to hate how people would talk about, well, he's only got a right hand, he can only do this. But, he was knocking everybody out in the ring, that stepped in front of him. Or, he got these chicken legs, and I used to be like, how is that related to boxing? But we got all these dudes running around here talking about, man, just keep it boxing, man. You just got to keep it boxing, Those dudes, keep it boxing, but, that don't apply, when it don't apply to the LDBC. Nah. We try to keep it boxing. Nope. That's, then they come at us with all this other nonsense. But, Wilder, to me, is a good fighter. He's the only one to ever knock Tyson Fury down, to my recollection. He's the only one to knock him down. And he's done it multiple times. And anybody that can put Tyson Fury on his ass multiple times, you're a good fighter. Okay? You are a good fighter. And those fights with Fury, a few of those fights, they were close. Because actually, had Wilder had enough time to close the show, he could have, in one of those fights. So, I mean, folks, it's one of those things, man, where it's either you like Wilder or you don't like him, and I don't like him, and I think he's a decent fighter. Now, he's going to be taking on Robert Helenius. What Robert Helenius is going to do, he's going to try to employ the model that Tyson Fury did. And what Robert Helenius is going to try to do, he's going to try to put his big body on Deontay Wilder. So he's going to come in and he's going to come straight ahead just like Fury did. Then he's going to start leaning his weight on Deontay Wilder. The difference is, though, Robert Helenius is more of a power puncher. And he's not a slick boxer. So he's going to have a hard time doing what Fury did. He's going to have a real hard time. Fury is a very skilled boxer. Fury can be taught a lot of different things. He a cokehead. But, if we just talking boxing, you can teach a guy like Tyson Fury how to do a lot of things, and Tyson Fury can make adaptations. He adapts very well in the ring. Robert Helenius he's gonna be sadly mistaken when he tries that game plan. It's just not gonna work. But Helenius does have a lot of power, and this is the heavyweight division. Anything can happen. You get caught, hey, you go down. But we pretty much already know that Wilder is going to fight to the death. We know that that's how he rolls. So it's going to be a good matchup one way or another. It's going to be an excellent matchup. And I think it's a good return fight for Wilder for him to get back into the mix of things. And, and I'm thinking, what, is Deontay Wilder, want to make another run at the heavyweight title? That's the question we got to ask. Does Deontay Wilder want another go at the heavyweight title? Well, and part of me don't believe that Tyson Fury will fight Wilder a fourth time. I don't think that fight will happen a fourth time, and it really is just no reason. We know that Fury won 2 of the bouts, and Fury is a better boxer than Deontay Wilder. But you just never know. People saying Fury's style is all wrong for Wilder, but Wilder, when he lands, he hurts Fury, and it just takes one of those shots to really drop a guy like Fury and to leave Fury out. So I mean, people act like the fights wasn't close. People act like, the fights to me were close. And, all 3 fights with Fury were entertaining. But, I can see Fury trying to retire. That's what I see. Because I don't even think Fury really wants to be in the game too much longer. Fury got about 1 or 2 fights left. And I think he's done. I think Wilder, I don't know, guys. This might be good news if he's going to come back to try to make a return at the belt. I don't know. Does Wilder want to go for undisputed again? I mean, we just don't know. And, I think Deontay Wilder's 35, 36 now, so Does he have that kind of, time to actually do it? These are the questions that I want to ask. But I think Wilder does beat Robert Helenius. I think he beats the guy. Helenius, he's a very strong puncher, like I said. Can take a lot of damage. Helenius can take a lot of shots, but I don't think he can take too many shots from Wilder. And also, Wilder been at the UFC Performance Center, and it's crazy because he met Francis Ngannou, but they actually they didn't spar together, but they were working together on, like, the UFC Performance Center. They do a lot of things. They test you. They test your body fat composition. They test how many strikes you can throw in a minute. They test, your power, like how many pounds per whatever you're throwing, like your punches at, and that's where Wilder was at. Wilder's he was there because he's trying to get an edge, okay, and he's trying to add a new wrinkle to his game. Using technology now to actually help his game, and I respect that. Because a lot of fighters go to the UFC Performance Center to try to, gain an edge, to try to, put something else on their game that they never had. So that's cool. It's cool to see Wilder there. Then I start thinking, wait a minute, is Deontay Wilder going to venture into MMA? I hope he don't do MMA this far down in his career, man, because it wouldn't be very good right now. But, tell me what you think, guys. Who you got for this fight? I got Wilder by 6-round knockout. Maybe even shorter than that, man. All right.